In this round, I probably made the best read of my entire career, and it all had to do with my experience with playing Mix. Main one. It all started with me running at the guy who thought I was gonna run out of time. Then I make a call out that they might push CT because they have all of the space. Probably gonna push CT. And then I spotted this smoke. The only places Mix can throw the smoke is from B main, elbow, tunnel, which is super unlikely because we can already see it, and nest, which is even more unlikely because Chamber already pushed it alone and somebody had to plant the spike. That's why I'm assuming that he's B main. Mix so B main. He should be B main. After killing Chamber, we pull out the wall and isolate the enemy from the spike so we can defuse in peace. But because the spike is not planted in the default, I end up missing it. I called everything! Except the wall. I fucked up the wall because the plant was weird. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Happy and I'm an immortal high-level coach. In these series, I help you improve your game sense and talk about how to get an advantage on every single fight that you take. If you're tired of being stuck in the same rank, I strongly suggest joining the premium tier of my group, which will be linked down in the description. Inside, I talk about the purpose of every single role, how to learn a new skill, and most importantly, how to play your character. So if you're someone who's serious about improving in Valorant, I suggest you join. Let's get to the video. I just wanted to show you that I am too encountering these weird teammates who say zero information and then all of a sudden they get super mad and start talking. It is a skill on its own to learn how to deal with these people. Most of the times it's best to just ignore it. I couldn't even hear my game how loud he was talking.
Bro, don't wait, go, okay? Go fast, go fast, go fast. Please don't shift.
Shut the fuck up.
Don't shift. Shut up.
Here's how one molly can stop the whole push with an ultimate. All the smokes, all the initiative utility has been used, and of course after that we spam the smoke in case someone is still waiting in the smoke. That's why it's always a good idea to time your mollies and stall utility as they're walking out, not before. And the push is stopped. And because last round their push was completely stopped, I'm determined to immediately push and go for a flank. This is actually a psychological trick that works every single time. Enemies just unconsciously decide that was bad, let's not do that again, and you can definitely take advantage of that every single time. However, the higher ranks you climb, the less enemies will actually think of it, but it still works at immortal level.
80 jet, 80 fed, 80 chamber.
What chamber?
I go for a flank and see basically nothing except for the Chamber TP, so I tried to see if anyone TP'd after Fade fought, but Chamber decided to die instead. A little bit more trigger discipline would have helped me get both of these skills cleaner, but we get there.
Good job, Phoenix. You are the coach.
Yep, I'm the coach. I have to make sure this dude defuses. Because they start opening the tree, I immediately molly off the other entry and I was ready to flash. But because I got smoked and I hear quite a lot of them, I rethink my decision and try to play with my team. Flashing and peeking into 3 people is just like flashing and peeking into a machine gun. There's not really that much opportunity there. But flashing while your team is shooting at the enemies is a much better idea. Because your ears actually receive information faster, as soon as the enemies cannot hear you coming, even though they see the Molotov, they cannot really hear the flash and turn around from it. That's why comboing Mix's utility with other utility is extremely strong. It was actually never meant to be used alone, unless you're using it to reposition yourself. It's always a good idea in general to first clear out the spots that could be shooting you while you try to retake before actually going for the real retake. That's why I wall off main and then we push up into a main to check if anyone's hiding. After that, we know that they can only be on site or in tree. And we have so many more angles to deal with, like punishing this chamber while he pushes into us. And I've actually did this exact same play with slightly different movement in this exact position. But this time it's with a smoke. We're delaying and distracting the enemy by threatening to peek him to the point where he cannot even kill the spike diffuser. He cannot win this! Because he's a monkey. Stupid movement. My team wants to push 5B main because it worked last time, but they're pushing into an eco, and I know that if enemies are stacking the site, it's really bad, so I try to make some pressure mid. Then I fake my rotate and come back a little bit later for some more kills. The flash was intended to kill the Jet. Type shit. I talked about a very similar idea last video. If your enemy is 1 HP or low HP, you don't want to give him a dangerous standard fight. Instead, you want to take an unfair advantage. So we get a masterful kill on our eco round by doing one of the plays that will be mentioned in the courses for Ascent Waylaid, and we actually run away with the gun. We're entering the site and I catch off guard a guy who's trying to quickly take out my Sage. I also think that there's no smoke or no door on short, that's why I go for the ult and decide to just wing it anyway. Now it's a 2v1 situation, so I call a rotate. But I decide not to overcomplicate the things and just come back to site. I can see that my teammate is about to kill himself, and he actually does end up killing himself. It's really hard for me to help him because I'm 1 HP and I can just die immediately. So instead, a better play would have been to just let him die and play a post plant where I could be anywhere and Jet has to find me. My Reina starts to push in middle for no reason, so that's why I try to help her. She ends up dying to a flash. I know exactly where the enemy is, so I can stun him and cleanly take him out. And then there's also a potential of somebody being CT. After taking out another guy, I remember that Sage actually walled middle. I can see it on the minimap as well. So instead of closing the door, I just walk mid where the space is available, so I can play a really strong off angle. And before we do that, it's really important to make sure that we're not getting flanked from the other side. Also, if Jet updrafts over the wall, I will be able to hear it. It's always the close pushing in, so I decide to just try to trade her off of the minimap. I also noticed that if I end up getting the first kill heaven after doing this play, the enemies just don't comprehend the information that one is heaven. The time frame for them just doesn't make any sense. After getting 2, I recharge my ability and I want to extract as much value as possible, so I take an off angle and go for the 1-tap. I'm just gonna keep showing this until you guys stop peeking into Phoenix's ult for no reason.
What?
Close to me.
Enemy remaining.
Phoenix, what are these running guns? You bet that
Skill issue for you. It's skill issue for you. So here's what not to do. You're holding an angle which is not even an off angle and there's no distractions for the enemy. Here's a good example. We're holding an angle but enemies are already pushing out, so they have tons of chaos to worry about, in which we capitalize and start shooting. Ideally, you first want to walk around the wall before actually walking into Viper's pit, but instead the enemy's planned, so we have to start making some moves. I walked closer to the wall so that in case I get shot from behind, I could have some cover, which is exactly what happens, and in a 1v1 position we throw a wall. Thank you everyone for watching. Comment down your favorite clip and I'm gonna respond to every single comment. Also, if you're serious about improving in Valorant, you wanna get even better game sense, join the premium tier of my group, link in the description. See you guys tomorrow.